Welcome to Badass in Action, the show that ignites your inner fire and propels you toward your epic goals. I'm Melanie Browning, delivering raw interviews, game-changing stories, and mindset hacks to keep you moving. Get ready, it's go time. Today's guest is not only a trailblazing entrepreneur, she's someone I consider a friend and a strong supporter of entrepreneur communities. Emily Evans is the founder of WELLTH Journey, that's WELLTH Journey, where she helps business owners escape cookie cutter benefits and instead design custom plans that truly work. She's known for her Lego style approach that simplifies the process, contains costs, manages risks, and turns benefits into a real strategic asset. On top of that, Emily is a passionate connector and networking facilitator who's always cheering on fellow entrepreneurs. Thank you for joining me here today, Emily. How are you doing today?
My pleasure, and thank you so much for having me. It's been a great day full of content creation, so this is just wrapping it up perfectly.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I love your content, by the way. It's so empowering. And not only like empowering as far as, entrepreneur stuff, which I dig, I geek out on. I love it. I love women doing business and all of those things.
Yeah, for sure.
But also you're adventuring, and that's why I put trailblazing, because I see you out there camping, hiking, doing stuff with your Forerunner.
Yes.
Just loving life. And man, I love the concept of like someone building a life that they love and enjoy. And I feel that from you, not only from your posts, but also in person. And
Thanks.
And it's just like, it's all of the things together is really you. It's the fun of what I see that you're doing, but also I feel that also from you in the networking events that I've been fortunate enough to be and see you in, and you lead in all of those wonderful things. So I love the content that you put out, and it's so wonderful. Since we're talking about it, where is it, and where's the best place to follow you at?
Best place to follow me is either on LinkedIn or Instagram. Both places you will see adventures, which is why Journey is part of the business name. Everything's an adventure in my book. But on LinkedIn, you can find me under Emily Evans Consulting. And then on Instagram, it is TBD_Emily Evans.
Awesome.
So like to be determined.
Okay, I was wondering if that, I was wondering, because it's always when I'm like, I know what to put in when I'm looking for you. But I was like, what does that stand for? That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of adventures, I want to kind of go into the story of how you got started on this journey of helping others with benefits. And there's kind of a motorcycle involved?
There is. I was originally going down the career path of being a banker for life, right? You see the people in the power suits and you want to be like climbing the corporate ladder, and that turned out to not be my path. In 2010, while I was working for a large bank, my husband and I were in a motorcycle accident. He had picked me up from work. We were just dating at the time. He was being really cute and romantic. He's like, the moon is 10,000 miles closer, blah, blah, blah. I don't even remember everything about it, right? And we were stopped at a red light when he was saying that, and all of a sudden the world just went topsy-turvy. The lady behind us had hit us going about 45 miles an hour.
Whoa.
This is where I tell my bad jokes, so be prepared. Okay? I tell two, really. But this is the first one. People can fly. We just really suck at landing. Da-da-da.
Truth.
Very much true. And so when we flew that 70 feet over the three cars that had been in front of us, we landed in the intersection. Here's bad joke number two. My husband is the talker in our family. So it's a good thing he's so full of hot air, because he broke my fall. Oh. I ended up with no broken bones, just bruises and whiplash. And he ended up with 11 fractured vertebrae and a brain contusion.
Oh, wow.
Super blessed. Didn't need any surgeries or anything like that. He was in the hospital 5 days, out of work for 6 months. And the rest is history. So that's what really drove me into this industry, because I found out from experiencing it, how things work, how the health system works, how your benefits work, and where all the gaps are. Because there's a lot of gaps, and people wish there weren't. For there to not be gaps requires a lot of insurance. And I don't think anyone really wants to pay for all that much.
No, insurance is not one of those things that we're like, yay, just got my bill today.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's not typically top of the list for fun things to spend money on.
Yeah. So you've gone through this horrific accident, fortunately come away a lot better than it sounds like most people would in that situation. So that's
sure.
beautiful. But yes, a lot of, your world's turned upside down with just dealing with that alone. And then now you're navigating the benefits issues and what's there and what you aren't covered and trying to figure all of that out. At what point in that do you say, this has got to change? I'm going to be the one to change it. And how close were those two together? And when did it all kind of start to really start to move into place? And you said, I'm going to do this.
Well, the first step was understanding that there's a specific type of insurance out there that will pay you when you get sick or hurt. Most people have heard of it before. It's the company that I went to work for because I got recruited for them. It's Aflac. Everyone's seen the duck commercials. And I learned through that conversation with them that if I'd had just two of their coverages, I would have gotten about $25,000, which would have made all the difference for the 6 months that my husband was out of work. And that's just if I had had the policies, not counting if he had had additional options that there were. So in 2011, when they recruited me, I went to work as an Aflac agent. Anyone who's ever done 1099 sales, it's super fun. It's an adventure in itself.
I've worked specifically with Aflac.
Yes, many people have, oddly enough. It's a fun door opener and conversation starter, I've learned. And
my son still has the duck.
Yeah, I still have a bunch of ducks somewhere.
Of
yeah, at least the Christmas ducks for sure. And along the learning curve that I experienced while working with Aflac, I figured out that a lot of people don't understand how their benefits work. And one of the things I've always loved is teaching people about complex information, but making it simple.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you exist.
Right? I tell bookkeepers and CPAs that all the time because I don't want to deal with that side of things. But when you're going through and you're working with individuals and companies and figuring out, okay, here's how these particular kind of benefits work with the health insurance, it gives you a insight that a lot of people don't get when they work the other direction. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of benefit brokers out there that they go into insurance because they got out of college, got recruited, et cetera, and they don't have the experience of how it impacts the individual and their families. They just see, okay, well, if we build the benefit plan in this certain way, it saves the business owner money.
Yeah.
Okay, but what are the ramifications on the other side? Mm-hmm. And so when I learned it from the Aflac side, I saw a lot more of those gaps. Straight up, I had to sell stuff to be able to eat. So my goal was to find those gaps so that I could explain it to people, yes. And in doing so, I helped a lot of people be protected. So very grateful for that part of my journey and being able to learn all of the things while kind of having a corporate support as an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have to figure it all out by myself.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's super helpful to kind of ease into it. I mean, there's a lot to learn there. And a lot of it's experience because there's so many different people live their lives so differently. There's different businesses out there and how they can help support their employees. So yeah, that's just going to take the time. So that's super powerful that you were able to get the experience, the boots on the ground, the stories of the people, what matters, and kind of gaining, so you can kind of see what really does move the needle and what's not maybe so necessary with that. So that's wonderful. That's great. I remember you mentioning Aflac before, and it's like, oh yeah, that's fun stuff. From there, what kind of grew everything, and tell me about the wealth journey.
So that takes a few more years. I joined as an Aflac agent in 2011, and then it wasn't until 2019 when I finally had enough of watching brokers explain benefits poorly and making it as boring as possible. Anyone who's ever learned about benefits, I'm sure you've experienced this. It's dry. It takes an hour and a half, and every single time someone asks a question at the end that was covered 45 minutes before. Every time.
Because they just glazed.
They did. They entirely did. And I get it. It's not a fun subject. And so in 2019, when I started my own brokerage agency, I was able to start taking what I've learned throughout offering Aflac, which is telling stories.
Yeah.
To help people understand how the benefits actually work together. So I crafted the way of telling a story to help them understand not just their ancillary, is what most people call them, benefits, like Aflac, but also how their health insurance integrates in. And when you layer them together, what the protection actually looks like and how it works. So in doing that, in storytelling, stories are a lot more fun to listen to than dry information about your deductible, copays, and coinsurance. Ask me how I know.
So many people don't even know those basics.
Yeah.
And then to try and get into the weeds more from there, it can be brutal. But stories, we love it. That's how we bring out the campfire. Let's learn. Wonderful.
Yeah. So that happened 2019 when I started doing that. 2020 hit. We all loved 2020.
Oh, loved it.
Yeah. Not sarcastic in that at all.
You and I are just like, what are they talking about? Like, we're just both very sarcastic. So.
Very dry senses of humor. Yeah, we get it. And the thing I am grateful for COVID is it helped open a lot of doors that previously had been closed because people didn't want to meet virtually.
Okay.
And so in creating that opportunity, and I'm a tech-forward person anyways, everyone who ever does a meeting with me, they're like, Emily, can you come help do?
I think you've worked the slideshow on the TV for us.
I did.
We couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. I do it just because it comes naturally to me, and apparently my energetic frequency, if you want to go that far, jives with tech, whereas some people it just doesn't. And I get it. My mom is one of the people it doesn't jive for, so I'm always helping her as well. So in that 2020 journey, a friend of mine started a mastermind, and I joined his mastermind. I'm like, all right, well, we got to figure this whole thing out now. Yay. And having that tribe to surround myself with during that time period was amazing. We all met virtually, and that morphed into he started in 2020 as a mastermind, and he started something called a master general agency.
Okay.
And the best way I can explain that is if you understand that a realtor can hang their license at different realty groups.
Gotcha.
Right? Insurance agents can kind of do the same thing depending on how the contract is written.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's the easiest way to think of it. And during that time period, I kept asking, because we'd been friends for over 10 years at the time, hey, how can I help build this with you? How can I help you? How can I help you? Because it's fun to build with people you like, right?
Yes.
And that led to, in 2022, being invited to be part of the leadership team for that company, part owner of that company. And that was a fun stint of learning, during which time I learned things that, if you've ever peeked behind the curtain of a certain industry and you're like, I can't unsee that.
Several.
Yeah. And either good or bad, right? Doesn't matter. When you can't unsee something, it becomes part of the fabric of who you are.
Yeah, you've expanded and you can't fit
Yeah.
back in that box.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so in September of 2023, when we ended up parting ways, I got to decide what I wanted to do when I grew up again. And it was painful, yes, absolutely. I lost business partners, I lost friends, I lost my tribe. And it was a growth experience. I'm still learning to be grateful for. Some days are better than others.
And just, I want to commend you on that. Like the honesty there. That yeah, there's still there's still pain there. And that, I mean, that's authentically you, like you're honoring that. And that's powerful. So thank you for honoring that, and not just, oh yeah, I learned from it. It's great. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a powerful lesson.
Yeah. Still figuring out what the lesson is, too. But it's part of the journey, right?
Yes.
And so it took me from October of 23 till June of 24 to decide that I wanted to stay in the industry. And I wanted Journey to be part of my business name. And I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? Oh, how about Wealth Journey? And I looked up wealth, like WEALTH, like it's traditionally spelled. Someone already had that business name. And I was like, okay, well, I'm in the benefits business. How about like wellness and health, and put it together? And I was like, okay, that works.
I love it.
And super grateful. There's a good friend of mine who has been in marketing for years, and she's like, listen, let me help you with your logo. And I'm like, no, it's fine. I had this janky, I still love it because I came up with it, right? It's still my baby.
You're attached to it.
Yeah. And I used sunset colors because I love nature and all of that. And she came back and she was like, oh, bless your heart. That's cute. Right. And I'm like, okay, well, send me some ideas. I appreciate your help very much. Right. She's a genius. And what she ended up coming up with is our logo that you see today, with the colors you see today, where it's helping people find their path to the best benefits possible. Sure, because we want to take care of people. But we all know that there's a budget that has to be associated, right? If there's not a budget, you can't fit any benefits into no budget.
Yeah.
And good business owners that take that into consideration also understand that their people are their greatest asset. And when they invest in their people, their business will grow.
Yes.
So when we go to build benefits, it takes all of that into account. So we're doing cost containment strategies, risk management. We're also doing, how do we take care of the people in the best way possible with what's available?
And that's like, and from your angle, it's like, a lot of people look at health benefits, just people that have worked in corporate, had their 9-to-5s and had benefits. They look at it as like, that can be overwhelming. But then layer on top of that, owning a business and being the one to be the one responsible to, because then there's more picking. There's more picking than even what you have to pick. Like there's so many pickings.
Yeah.
And so many things to consider, like the different people that are working there, depending on the size of your business. And so when I was part of a business that we owned and realized like there were certain things we couldn't even get for our employees, and that was frustrating. Or if one employee wanted to do this and these didn't, and it didn't qualify, like it was so just absolutely confusing and overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so now, do you come in and you help the employer and the employees, like help decide as a group, or how does that look? How do you go into helping get those benefits for?
Well, it's going to depend on the size of the business for what they want to allow employee input level to be. I had one client small company, 3 employees, if there's only 3 people, you got to figure out what's going to work for everybody there, right? If you have 250 people, like some of my other clients, you can't do that. You have to do what's going to work for the majority, and the rest of them have to figure it out. The good news is, whether it's that small version or the big version, what I do is figure out what's going to work on the business level, and then I help the employees understand how it works on their level too. So it's not just, here you go, figure it out, which is what a lot of brokers unfortunately do.
Yes.
One of the biggest disservices, in my opinion. But it allows those small employers to have that person there holding their hand to make it not confusing, to make it not frustrating. I'm not going to say it's simple, because nothing about benefits is simple, but we work really hard to make sure it's as easy as possible. And health insurance isn't always the answer.
What are some of the benefits and answers that you bring for these companies?
Oh, I don't know if we have enough time for all of that. Short version, everything from figuring out, like I have a client who hates health insurance. So we did not implement health insurance. They're a small company, 5 employees. They're like, I would rather the money go to help other people like me. And so we were able to figure out a health share, is what it's called, that works for them, where the money that goes into the community gets spent on people in the community. It doesn't go to the CEO and the shareholders and all of that kind of stuff, which is what that particular employer didn't want. It goes to other people in the community. So even if you're not using it, you feel better about paying for those premiums or costs because it's going to other people just like you. So that's one of the options.
That's awesome. That's definitely thinking outside of the box and working with clients. That's wonderful.
Yeah. All the way through, I have clients that have Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's a fit for a particular sector of clients that need it. That goes with Blue Cross Blue Shield, United, Aetna, Cigna, those kinds of things. All the way through fully customized solutions in something called self-funded, which a lot of people haven't heard about, or if they have heard about it, maybe it's been scary for them.
Because it's newer or not as much information out there. Is that more appropriate?
I would say that self-funded has felt more complex for people, mainly because no one has really figured out how to break it down into something simple.
That makes sense.
I say no one, but I think I may have cracked that nut. So we talked about Lego style benefits, and I think I figured out how to create a visual for people, because we have visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learners. But being able to break it down into something that they can see and touch and feel, of how we can take those Blue Cross Blue Shield benefits, take those same building blocks or Lego blocks that they use, and use it to build something completely different that you have more control over.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's super powerful. And I love your curiosity of how can I make this better? It sounds like it's like, how can I figure this out maybe? Or how can I just explain it better so that people get what it is that they need? That's wonderful.
Well, I don't take credit for that. And really the Lego block idea came while I was working with the company that I was. So I don't take full credit for that either. However, I continue to refine and look for a relentless solution focus, which is a book as well. FYI, if you haven't read it, highly recommend. And it always goes back to either what's the next thing that I can do, or how can I make this 1% better? You don't have to revolutionize everything. Just make it a little better.
Just 1%.
Yeah.
Don't overwhelm yourself. Yeah. It keeps you focused on track. I love that. That's good. That's good. I also want to jump into, not only the business that you have, but how you share what it is you do and just part of you, your essence, and showing up in a community style for, I've seen you with mostly women, but I've seen other events that you do as well. You're out there, you're networking. Where did that come into, and where did you learn that skill, and what really drives that part for you?
It's a lot of questions.
Yes, I realized that on about the fourth one. Emily can handle it.
Yeah, I certainly can. I'll start with, in my lifetime, before I was age 30, really before I was age 27, I had moved over 33 times in my life. And yes, I'm counting within the same state, etc. Okay. I attribute my ability to network and get myself out there to that experience. Because as a kid, going to a new place every single time as you're growing up, either you become the super loner that nobody talks to because you're weird, which I was partly that, or you start figuring out how to find that one or two people that you can connect with to not feel so alone, which it's a skill set. And it is most definitely a choice, because by nature I am an introvert. And people will look at me and be like, "You're not an introvert, you're all over the place." And I'm like, yes, and if I can have the time to recharge and not be around people, that's a requirement. So you'll see me.
It's the camping.
Yeah. You'll see me go on road trips by myself because I'm like, I need to not people right now.
I love, I'm going to say envious, so that might be the word. That might be the word I'll use. I was looking at your email earlier and I saw all the dates listed that you'll be unavailable or maybe only slightly available coming up. And I was like, that is powerful. I love that. And I was like, that's a wonderful idea. And I just don't plan enough to really do that. But I'm like, I'm not going to be available during this time. This is my space.
You'll notice that most of those dates are before like November, December, for a reason. I'm going to be heavy peopling November, December, and probably into January.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I saw that. Super, yeah.
So you just find the times that you can and make it happen.
Now, is that something you just kind of knew off the bat from moving around and knowing, okay, I need to step out of this. I need to make those. And I like how you said one or two people. You weren't overwhelming yourself. Like, I don't have to be the life of the party or anything like that. But, you learn the process of, okay, just doing the thing and doing it. And, and it leads to different things. But also knowing that you need the space. Was that a process of okay, now I'm going to block out this time, and now I'm going to let people know I'm blocking out this time, and then how do you start to guard that or build that or know that about yourself?
I don't know that I consciously did it.
Okay.
I did consciously choose to time block because for me, time blocking allows me focus time. I'm not the person that can switch easily between tasks quickly. I have to do deep dives. And once I'm in, for me to come out and go back in takes the same amount of time as switching a task entirely. And so I would time block consistently. It makes a world of difference for me. And then I started plugging in those, well, you know what? July is slow for everyone anyways. I can take time away there and no one will even notice. So at first I didn't tell people that I was leaving. And at the time I was as an agent for Aflac in a leadership role, and the guy who was in leadership above me was like, "You can't just take off for 2 weeks for vacation." And I was like, okay, first of all, you can't tell me what to do. Nobody can tell me what to do. I can only tell myself. And while I was rebelling against the thought of you can't do that, I was also like, well, maybe I can. I just need to give people more heads up and tell them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a learning experience there.
That's awesome. And I love how you say, you don't switch easily from task to task. I'm all over the place, but I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I'm a master of it. I think we all benefit when we take that time block and do the deep dive. I just want to recognize you that I think you're just doing what we all really need to be doing and focusing. And I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that can do it all and they're wonderful.
Of course. They're superheroes.
But I do all the things, but it's not getting done the right way. It's not getting the deep dive that it needs. So time blocking is wonderful. I think just people have put it into practice the way that it needs to be, and that's intentional and that's powerful and
not perfect.
Yeah, thank you for not calling yourself out, but being
I have no trouble calling myself out. It's totally fine. Yeah. The hardest part about time blocking is not putting it on the calendar. It's actually doing what the time block says when it says.
I'm like, saying, you can't tell me what to do. I'm like that with myself.
Uh-huh.
I'll see it listed when I finally put it on the list. And I'm like, you can't tell me what to do, Melanie. I'm going to go make myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich right now when I should be, studying or whatever.
Yeah, I do that too. Not going to lie. And I've also trained myself over the years to be like, okay, you can have the peanut butter with jelly sandwich. And once it's made, you're going to come back here with a napkin so you don't get jelly on your keyboard. And you're going to get your butt to work.
Yeah.
Missy.
Yeah. That peanut butter jelly is just the distraction excuse. I find myself in the kitchen a lot. And I'm like, you don't need to be here. You don't need to be here. You're just distracting yourself and go do the work.
Yep. And when you want to have freedom of time, you remind yourself of that and you decide.
I love that. When you want freedom of time, you need to schedule your time. You need to do the things. Like it sounds counterintuitive, and I think that's a concept a lot of times people get, especially like entrepreneurs can definitely get in that state of, no, I did this so I can make my own schedule. You need to sit down and do the things you need to do too at the times you need to do them.
Freedom is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You can absolutely do whatever you want, whenever you want.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I want to go into real quick the networking events.
Okay.
What are some of the events that people in Arizona can come to? What are they going to learn? What's your favorite?
My favorite are small events.
Okay.
Big surprise here. I have been to large events, and I still look for that 1 to 2 people. I don't like loud noise, as can be sometimes contradicted by my stereo. But people noise is completely different, okay? So there's some really great events, and I forget the name of them, that are really large. If you're a big group kind of person that you should go to, I can email you later with what it was. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I kind of blanked it from my memory. So I'll look specifically for those smaller events where I can connect with people. Maybe there's 20 to 50 people there. That's a smaller event, and find those 2 to 3 people where, I really had a really great conversation with her or him. I'm going to email them and request time to do a one-to-one or connect meeting where you sit down, you get to know people. There's no pitch from either side. It's, here's what I do and about me. Here's about you and your business. How can we help each other? And being very intentional about that, because when we are able to, big brands do it all the time. They collaborate, right? You see it with McDonald's in the Olympics. You see it with, like all the big brands do it. Why? Because it freaking works.
Yes.
So as smaller entrepreneurs, we can do the same thing. We can collaborate in different ways, cross-pollinate across we're on social media with this, so our cross followings, and be able to have both of our reach expand. It helps us both do more business. It helps us both help more people, all of that. And so collaboration through networking is one of my favorite things to do.
That's beautiful. And such a good message. I think a lot of people getting into certain things might feel like there's more competition, even if it's a different industry, there's this competition kind of urge, but really collaboration really does drive you forward, even if you're in the same business.
Yeah.
You know, I love the analogy. I heard it somewhere, I forget where, you know, you see a new fast food restaurant go up and suddenly there's a bunch around it, because when you're driving home, it changes the question from the person of, should I eat out tonight? Should I grab some fast food, to which one should I get? It's just kind of like that did a mind switch for me. And, you know, since coming to Arizona and doing the networking, I've seen you at many of them, you leading a lot of them. So thank you for that. And just again, thank you for showing up. And, you know, any last ask that you have of the universe that someone in here or someone watching might be able to just be like, hey, let me connect you with this.
I did not come prepared for that question. Let's see. I've been, a good friend of mine, Hannah Johnson, has gifted me some knowledge of a journal called the 100-Day Affirmation Journal. And it is all about doing just that, writing out the things. I would say my ask would be, if you're a business owner or if you know a business owner that is about to be going through open enrollment, maybe you're dreading it because it feels like a problem that has to be solved. One, hit me up. I can help. Yay. But two, just do a slight reframe and think about it like a project that you're excited to work on instead. When you look at it as a project instead of a problem, you will find your energy completely shifts as well.
Yes.
And so I had an ask in there and I gave also. So there you go.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful. It was wonderful having you on. Always a pleasure to see you. I feel like this warmth whenever I interact with you. So I appreciate you coming here and spreading your knowledge and making wealth and healthcare and benefits fun. So thank you so much. Make sure you follow her on Instagram or LinkedIn and continue being a badass. Thanks for tuning in to Badass in Action. Drop a quick note, DM, comment, or review, letting me know the moment that hit hardest or the questions it sparked. Your insights fuel future episodes. Until next time, stay badass, keep moving, and remember, you got this.